Last time on Shadow Piece, our group of protagonists wandered through Elbaf, seeing many of the special things this country has to offer. Once they arrived in the capital of Elbaf, Hyrdine showed everybody the most important places and the venue of an upcoming tournament. However, the thing that caught the most interest and attention are the two prizes for the winner of the tournament. First is one request to their king, and he has to do his best to fulfill that request. And second is a gift the giants received from a god apparently. More specifically, it is a devil fruit that appeared on the shore of Elbaf, even if that shouldn't be possible. This instantly made it clear to Moria what their next plan should be, acquiring this devil fruit. The request on the other hand isn't really of that much importance. Some other giants started gathering around the tourists, curious about what they are doing here. But what Moria said next made them all laugh out loud, even if it was just by accident.
Hey, Hyrodine, this tournament thing, are humans allowed to enter it?
The giants wouldn't be people who underestimate humans in battle. In combat, everybody deserves respect, and yet seeing these random visitors they don't know anything about asking if they can enter their tournament is somewhat amusing to them. The captain of the new giant warrior pirates pauses a bit. He doesn't remember seeing a human participate in the tournaments, ever. In his whole life there has never been a human who fought in these sort of tournaments. But there's also no specific rule stating that it isn't allowed. The rules don't say anything against it. Oh, but this year King Odin added this special rule that only people younger than 100 can enter. All the humans look at each other confused, not seeing the problem. It takes a bit until it actually clicks for Hyrodine as well. All of the humans present here are all well below 100 years of age. In fact, he himself is older than all of them, even Moria. He coughs slightly. With that problem out of the way, who will participate? If you want to guarantee victory, it should obviously be Moria and the Dark Messiah. Once again, the group looks at each other. Their decision can change a lot, but one person steps up. Moria, everybody, please let me enter for all of you. You want the devil fruit, and I want the request. It all works out. Sanji speaks to the group. While the smartest decision would be for everyone to enter to increase their chance of winning this tournament, seeing Sanji's willpower, Moria decides to put his trust in the boy. If he loses, the Shadow Emperor can still go down the evil pirate route and just steal the fruit. The giant pirates look at Sanji with disgust. As a Charlotte family member, he is their natural enemy, but the blonde cook is under Moria's protection, so they can't do anything against him directly. If he is the only one you want to enter, Sanji will be the representative for the humans. In a slightly aggravated voice, Hyrdine accepts the decision, walking off to a nearby giant to enter the human in the first part of the tournament. With that taken care of, all of them go somewhere they can talk more privately. There has been a lot of talking these past few days. The time of the raid on Onigashima already seemed so far away. Being split up on Wano also made it harder to communicate. So compared to that, their trip on Elbaf feels like a vacation. For everybody besides Sanji, this vacation will continue. The Charlotte cook, however, has now to prepare for a tournament, in which she will have to face a young generation of giants. Thinking about all that, Absalom has a few questions he would like answered. So Hyrodine, explain how this entire tournament works. If we want to win this, we should probably gather all the information we can. The giant captain does the Odin face. He doesn't really want to help a Charlotte, but reluctantly, because it's the Dark Messiah, he starts explaining the rules of the tournament and how the whole thing is structured. It is very simple. On the first day, we hold a battle royale on the arena you saw earlier, and only the last 8 standing get to enter the main part of the tournament. We will make a bracket with these 8 fighters and determine the champions in single elimination battles. On the second day there will be the quarter and semi-final, so that on the last day, the third day, there will only be the finals and finally a banquet ending our long fast. Everybody listens carefully. The arena was insanely big, but now that they know that a giant battle royale will happen, it all makes sense. Having to fight against multiple giants might be troublesome. Sanji being the only foreigner and human participating will make him an obvious target. Many will underestimate the fiery cook. Maria, let me prepare the boy. I feel like we have some sort of connection. Absalom asks for Maria's permission.
You two do fit together quite well. Okay, train the boy. Can't wait to see how good of a teacher you are, my friend.
Like most of the time, Maria is quite carefree. The seriousness of Hisanashi doesn't always affect him, and his own personality is quite goofy and relaxed. The two blonde fighters take off quickly, even after Hyrule wanted to stop them to tell them more about the other top candidates to win this whole thing. But they didn't want to hear it. This will be a tournament to prove the power of humans, a battle for the future, and a way to show the giants Sanji's worth. The Shadow Emperor would like to hear about these strong fighters, but first another question needs to be answered. Why is this tournament limited to people below 100 years of age? So far, Elbaf has been a pretty nice place to be, but there is still a lot to do and a few locations have grabbed the Death God's attention. But for now, the conversation continues.
King Odin already announced the rules for this year's and next year's tournament, allowing only giants below 100 to enter, so that the 8 finalists can become the royal guards of Prince Loki, following him from now to the time he becomes the king of this country. This all makes sense to Maria. A leader needs vessels he can trust and rely on. Odin appears to be a very caring father. So this year is about finding young warriors to support the prince, and next year everybody, no matter the age or gender, can enter the tournament. The winner then either gets to marry Prince Loki themselves, or they can nominate somebody else to become the partner of the future king.
Maria wants to take back his own thoughts. This goes way further than being a protective and caring father. Is the prince not capable of making his own decisions? These thoughts take over Maria's mind completely in no time at all until he just asks exactly that.
I knew this would raise even more questions. We explained a bit of it on the way to Elbaf.
Hyrule clicks his tongue thinking about it.
The Charlotte scum that his big mom tried to trick our prince with another woman. We stopped all contact with that monster afterwards. But our prince was heartbroken. The love of his life disappeared, and someone dared to show a similar looking human as a replacement. We will never forgive Big Mom for that.
A heart-wrenching story, Maria understands that. But to be completely honest, he doesn't even really care about it.
So that Prince Loki, is he strong?
Power, be it from strength or any other method, is what is more interesting to Maria. And learning more about this prince he keeps hearing about could prove useful in the future. Hyrule scratches his head, thinking for a second before answering.
Since the horrible trickery from Big Mom, Prince Loki has become somewhat of a shut-in. But I will never forget the few battles I saw from the young prince. His unique fighting style was entertaining to watch. But if you were on the receiving end of it, you would always struggle to find a way to beat it. So if I had to call the prince weak or strong, I would probably go for strong.
Maria laughs for a while. Visiting Elbaf has been on his bucket list even back when he was the captain of the Strawhat Pirates. After defeating an Emperor of the Sea, Gecko Maria has basically reached the pinnacle of the world. So even if somebody is strong, he is already way beyond just strong. Being at the top can become somewhat boring. However, for now he will enjoy this situation and support his crew members, his Nakama. A tournament will make for good entertainment, and there seems to be other stuff brewing on the horizon as well. While Absalom and Sanji need to spend all their time working out and training, the Shadow Emperor will socialize with the giants and also have some quality father-daughter time with Perona. From an isolated situation to a completely free island, Maria might as well take some time to read the newspapers he didn't get to read while he was in Wano. Everything is calm for the Strawhat Pirates, but the outside world has multiple storms brewing. The Revolutionary Army, the Blackbeard Pirates, the Big Mom Pirates, the Heart Pirates, the Marines, and more. This might be the beginning of the end. a great world war to decide the future of every being on this planet. Who will become the Pirate King? Who will be an emperor at the end of all this? More and more questions are piling up. So let's see how this all will turn out in the future. But for today, that's all from Shadowpiece. What do you think? How will this tournament with Sanji turn out? Is he powerful enough to keep up with all these giants? And how exactly could he become a royal guard for Loki while also being a member of the Charlotte family that is despised by the Elbaf nation? But I guess all that is for another episode of Shadowpiece. All that is left for me to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro out. Bye!